All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be one great video. So what we're doing first off is we're going in and we're going to get a base dyno on Shake and Bake and see what she puts down on EFI Specialties and Performance, their new dyno. So hey, EFI Specialties, if y'all need some dyno stuff, you want some dyno time, or you need a tuner, especially y'all Hemi guys, they're big in the Hemi game. So if you want a good tune, Shake and Bake got a good tune. Shake and Bake be rolling, I'm telling you. And these guys will do it. Dave is a wizard on the keyboard. But we're back at EFI Specialties, gonna go get this baseline dyno. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make this two videos. I'm gonna make the baseline dyno, and then once we get the 18% lower damper on, we're gonna come back up here, we're gonna get back on that dyno, and we're gonna crank up the boost. Obviously with the 18%, it's gonna crank up the boost on its own. Put it back on the dyno, see what Shake and Bake can lay down with a little bit more boost and that 18% dampener. Now, I've seen some of the comments. Some of y'all said, you know, anywhere from 80 to 100. I'm guessing 50 to 60 maybe. I really don't know. So haven't seen anything on, you know, on YouTube with the D1X and the 18% damper. So we're gonna find out what that combination, what it produces when we put Shake and Bake to the test. But we're waiting on Dave and Mac to show up. You know, me and Mac will be bickering back and forth. I'll get a lot of that, in this video and the next video. But let's get set for that baseline dyno. All right, folks, we got a little surprise here. We got a 2005 stock GTO on the dyno, getting ready to rip. So there's the first pull, folks. 354 horsepower and 370 torque. Not too shabby for a 2005 stock
160,000
Pontiac
miles.
GTO. 160,000 miles, putting down 354 rear wheel horsepower. That's a pretty good deal. But I know y'all not here to see the old GTO. Shake and Bake is coming up next. Promise. Scout the competition. That's what he's doing. He's trying to scout the competition. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to scout the competition. He's trying to get that inside scoop on me. Cause he knows I probably won't be here when he does his dyno.
I'm not even finished.
All right, here is a short comparison. The first run we did is in red. That's with the HHP race filter on it.
Don't throw HHP under the bus. They're nice guys.
They are nice guys. HHP is great, but this is what filters do in general.
But that's the same as the Procharger filter. That comes on, that's a Procharger filter, just so you know. That came with my sister's Stage.
Okay, it's not an HHP
Now
filter.
you know.
It's a Procharger filter.
It really
so
is.
now we'll throw Procharger under the bus, and I'll never get a sponsorship. But anyway, so the red line was the first pull with the filter on. We made 586 and 515, and with the filter off, we did go a little bit further in the RPM range, but it made 661 and 538.
Yeah, that's
But now where we shifted, where we did the, when I got the car tuned on E85, we only went to about 65, I think.
yeah, it's still about.
So
30,
looking at
40
65
feet
here, so looking at 6,500 here is roughly 644 where we were on the old dyno.
Right here, where the filter
Hang on.
versus no filter.
Right there.
That's like 40 horse. So
All right, so put your finger up there again.
40 horse probably, 30, 40 horse right here between filter and no filter. He's gonna run it over.
Oh, there we go.
Run it over to the red one, Dave. Let's see what the filter versus no filter.
I can't see.
Yeah, about 40. 30, 40, right in that range. Cool.
So about 30, 40 peak horsepower with a D1X with the race filter on compared to the race filter off.
Yeah.
Good comparison.
We're gonna find out
So-
what the hood closed is like too.
We're gonna close the hood too. So we're doing a lot of experimentation here. So
We're gonna see if it loses.
we're gonna
nothing,
see if we lose anything by going with the hood closed on the dyno.
We're gonna do one more pull.
We're gonna do one more
Make sure
pull,
the bay's hot, and then we're gonna shut the hood.
and then we're gonna shut the hood. And we're gonna run another one and see if we lose anything.
We're gonna see if we lose boost. We're gonna see if we lose power. See what
Yeah,
everything does.
we'll see everything. All right, so stay tuned.
Round 2.
Again, this guy trying to get all the information he can before we wind up running. He's just trying to get all the information, gain everything he can about old shake and bake before we hit the track. Well, he's learning it now, so he'll have the advantage because I won't know. I may or may not know. It all depends when he does his dyno. All right, don't mind that middle pull. Don't mind that middle pull at 612. It just did 651 open. Now we're doing the hood closed right after. All right, folks, so now comparing the red line to the blue line is red line is the hood open, blue line is the hood closed.
Pound and a half boost.
So 652 with the hood open, 652 with the hood open, 600 with the hood closed. So I lost 50 horsepower just by closing the hood.
Pound and a half of boost.
And a pound and a half of boost.
About 9 versus
10 and a half.
yeah.
So roughly 10 and a half pounds of boost at the red line, 9 pounds of boost at the blue line.
At least I know where I'm at. Shit. I only wanted to make 625. So
Oh, excuses! Here comes the excuses.
I'm just saying,
excuses already.
I'm gonna beat you. There is no excuses.
Come on,
We're gonna
talk your excuses right now.
You know,
Put him in now.
no,
so
Don,
when
there's no excuses. I told you.
when I gap him, his
We went over
excuses
this on the
his
nitrous
excuses
video.
are on video already.
No, here's this. Hear me out, video.
Okay, here we go.
We went over this stuff on the nitrous, right? My car's gonna weigh less. I'm gonna have a better power band. That converter I just got.
Nah, that's true.
And what did you just drop off? Something for me to be full interior still, right? So if I'm full interior, we were gonna do our full interior race. I have that weight advantage right now,
That's true.
but it's still technically full interior. I'm finding loopholes. I'm not taking
But
anything
we're
off.
talking
I'm
about
just
another
making
4 pounds of boost once we throw once
Yeah,
we
but
throw the
making
the
9,
damper
so
down.
with the hood open, you made about 10 and a half to 11. We know what the power was. If you're gonna add 4 pounds, your hood's gonna be shut at the track. You're gonna make about 13 if the air is good and you don't get too hot.
True.
You're gonna, I'm gonna F you up, Don. I'm gonna F you
Y'all
up.
see this? Y'all see this? That's
I finally put-
wah, wah, wah. Charlie Brown. That's all I'm hearing right now.
I did finally put one of the parts on the car.
Oh, he did put the fuel rails. We're gonna go check them out.
I'll show you real quick.
We're gonna go check out his fuel rails here in a minute. All right, bonus feature. So those of you that saw the nitrous video with Mac, he actually installed the fuel rails onto his 392, and we're going to show you those right now.
Yeah, so that side's covered. Remember,
so here's what it looks like with the cover on.
Remember specifically what we talked about in the video.
Yeah.
How these were made, how it would allow the covers.
Right.
This isn't their fuel line. I think I went over that as well.
Yeah, so he had to make a little...
I wanted something different, and I trimmed here.
A little trim here, a little trim there, but not a huge deal. But
there, if you see the fitment of these bad boys,
you can see how well they fit.
They're
extremely well.
And I do believe, even with the covers on, I'm gonna find out, but I think a gauge might actually fit. If not on this side, the other side.
Yeah, you might be able to fit a gauge in there.
And be hidden when, you know, I don't want it to be hidden or seen, so.
Yeah.
But I love the way they look. Now I got the big beefy.
See, now he's trying to be sneaky.
You know, but you already know what's going on. What's gonna be real fun? What's real fun is when this stuff's all on. And we
You're not even gonna know.
Yeah, when the nitrous is on, you're not gonna know. Because I'm gonna hide the hell out of it.
He's gonna hide it and be sneaky.
I mean, but am I really that sneaky?
You're not that sneaky. You're not. Well, you're not sneaky to the 5,000 subscribers.
I mean, let's look at this.
to the channel.
We got this. We got that. I got the license plate.
And the 5,000 subscribers to the channel know you're putting on nitrous.
Yeah, so...
But it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, and then as far as your dyno, I meant to tell you...
It's going to be real fun. Okay, go ahead.
So the reason... I think we went over it in your last video. If you're not subscribed, you need to subscribe because we're going to get into doing more technical stuff and more vlog and bullshit and race stuff. Don's trying to step it up. But the old dyno we had read really close to the Dynajets. A little bit less. The new Dynajet we have, we could get a calibration done to make it higher. We found out, I ran my car on it multiple times. We took it to other Dynajets, other new ones at that. My car was like 15 horsepower, 10-15 horsepower less here than it is on all the other ones. Same day, I'm talking like right apart, and some of them had like less airflow in the shop and like warmer dyno with the thing down, so worse conditions, and it was still showing that. So we're figuring it about just 5%. A stock Hellcat on this dyno recently put down 570. After it was tuned, it did 660, which some stock Dynajet or stock Hellcats on a Dynajet would do 650, 660, 640.
Yeah, 640 to
range.
660,
so
somewhere around there.
It made 660 and went 1040 full weight wide body on pump gas. Like I'm talking stock front wheels, everything. And you just made 660 with the hood open.
But that's running it out though. That's running it out to 6,800.
But we can do that.
Right.
Well, my point is...
But we're not going to, because the trans isn't going to like it.
The trans might like the higher horsepower because your torque's going to be less on the shift. It might like it. There's different ways to think. I know you're hitting it with more power.
Right.
But that's where torque management and killing it comes in, you know,
right.
for the shift. But torque is also what kills... I don't know. There's different theories on how we can make this last. We'll get into that in other videos. We'll keep this one short, but...
We'll get it figured out.
If your trans holds with what you're going to be doing, because we did discover it should in theory make about 13 pounds with your hood shut. It's making 9 right now, so you're going to be making more, but within a safe realm. And then we're still going to test some things. We might pull his shaker and shut the hood and see if that allows more air.
Right.
But I'm calling if we go in March and the air is good, if you have similar air to what we had, you know, when you did your 1050, I think with the added a few pounds of boost, I want to say 1020, 1030, which would be solid.
If the trans holds. But it should be able to hold that.
We'll see.
Because Mike's didn't go out until he was running 9s, and he was putting 900 down to the wheels and 800 torque.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have a lot more miles than he did.
I do have a lot more miles. A lot more miles.
And you got to remember, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus or anything, but the way it was tuned before, you remember the trans was already slipping and already had damage when we got a hold of you. Remember it was banging the rev limiter and stuff?
Yeah. So he's talking about my trans.
Yeah,
he's talking about my trans.
He already had some torque management that wasn't there, so there's already wear on there, and we've band-aided your trans as much as we can.
Right.
Which you know. So if something happens to it at this point, it's mileage, wear, you've had your fun.
Yeah.
You really beat the shit out of it.
Y'all know Shake and Bake. Shake and Bake's been through a lot.
He did. So y'all don't need to be in his comments.
We're definitely pushing the limits of a 105,000 mile transmission as well.
And
so
he knows what the deal is. And like I told you, if I'm gonna say this on camera. If I go through with the Hellcat trans and my trans holds together and you break yours, I do have that other trans that I would lend you to drive your car and not beat on it until you get your Hellcat trans so you can still drive your car around.
Gotcha.
You don't need to kill it.
See, what a guy. What a guy.
I've had it sitting there. It's a low mileage trans. I think it's got like 15,000 miles on it. I just had it because we were going to do that.
And that's a 70, right?
Yeah, I was going to do that. I was going to do it with a 70 in my orange car. And then I decided, you know what? This first year manual, it's rare.
Right.
Let me just leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
And then I gave all the stuff to my buddy Tony, but he passed away.
Gotcha.
So I have the trans, I have the conversion swap to make it all bolt into a NAG 1 car or anything that doesn't have an 8-speed.
Right.
But that's just a backup trans. If this one lives, I'll have 2.
So that's the future. If I do go and mess up my trans, I got a backup to keep me running.
If he messes up his trans and we don't get our run, I don't get to gap him, he's going to be running on the other trans because I'm getting gapping with no excuses.
See? Y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. He's willing to give up his trans, and I can run it one time with putting us on the track at least once.
We got to make it happen.
But y'all know the deal. If that trans goes out, I talked about it before, more likely than not, I'm probably going to go with the HP90.
That's what we're all going to end up doing because it just makes sense.
So I'm going to get Dave to email, maybe print me these out so I can do a wrap-up when I get home.
Should have bought a Hellcat.
Trigger, trigger, trigger. Y'all know what he said. If you didn't hear him with the trigger, you should know what he said. But all right, let's get into the wrap-up. All right, folks, obviously it's the next day, but we're going to do a wrap-up of what happened at the dyno. So I'm going to put the dyno sheets, I'm going to try and cock it this way, put the dyno sheets up over here. So the best pass of the day was 661 horsepower at 6,700 RPMs, 538 foot-pound of torque. So 530, almost 540 foot-pound of torque. Not bad, not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so our first comparison is going to be hood open versus hood shut. All right, so hood open, we made 652 and 534 torque. With the hood shut right after that, 600 even and 500 torque. So just shutting the hood, I lost 50 horsepower and 34 foot-pound of torque just by closing the hood. And then the last one we did was filter versus no filter. No filter, we were at the best pass, 661. And the filter on, well, the 661 is a little bit of a misnomer because we did go a little bit further out on that pass than we did with the filter on. So the filter on is probably maybe 625, 630. And the filter on is 586. So a significant drop in literally filter, no filter, hood open versus hood closed. Definitely a difference between those, but I'm super happy with that best pass number of 661 and 538. That's really great. Again, that's roughly right around 6,700 RPM. So I'm super happy with that. But what's to come next is we're going to put on the ATI damp 18% lower damper. And obviously pin the crank and all of that stuff. We're going to throw that on there, which is going to spin the Procharger faster, actually a couple thousand RPM faster from what Procharger told me. So we're looking roughly anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds of boost. So I'm guessing 4, and we're going to see what she puts down. So stay tuned, folks. That comparison is coming. And as always, we got more of the dogs. Indigo, Bean! Here comes Indigo. Bean! Come here, boy! Ah, here he comes. The Bean Man. All right, next time, folks. Adios.